July 1960, history was rewritten in a small island nation once known as Ceylon. Amid banners, balloons, and disbelief, a woman stepped forward to lead a newly independent country. Her name was Sirimavo Bandaranaike, the world's first woman prime minister. At a time when politics was a man's arena, her rise shattered every expectation. What began as a tragedy became a triumph that redefined leadership and inspired women across continents. Sirimavo Bandaranaike was born in 1916 into an aristocratic family in Ratnapura, Sri Lanka. She grew up in a privilege but also in a tradition. Educated in Colombo, where discipline, empathy, and service shaped her outlook. Unlike most girls of her generation, she was encouraged to study and travel. Her upbringing combined faith, education, and deep sense of civic duty that seeds would later bloom in political vision. In 1940, she married Solomon Bandaranaike, a rising political figure who would soon become prime minister. Their partnership was intellectual and political. She observed, learned, and supported quietly from behind the scenes. But in 1959, when her husband assassinated, that shook the nation. Amid mourning, her party, the Sri Lankan Freedom Party, turned to her for leadership. Many doubted she could lead, yet driven by duty and faith, Sirimavo Bandaranaike accepted the challenge. The following year, in 1960, she became the first woman in the world to lead a democratic government. As a prime minister, Sirimavo Bandaranaike envisioned a nation built on equality and self-reliance. She nationalized banks, schools, and major industries that expanded free education and healthcare, and also promoted the Sinhala language to strengthen the national identity. Her leadership style was maternal yet firm. She was called the mother of the nation, but also criticized for being uncompromising. Through it all, she remained steadfast in one belief that a woman could govern with both strength and compassion. On the global stage, Sirimavo's impact was just as remarkable. During the Cold War, when nations were forced to choose between the United States and the Soviet Union, she chose neither. She became a founding leader of the non-aligned movement, giving a voice to small nations trapped between superpowers. Her diplomatic skills shone during the Indo-Pakistan tensions of 1971. As war loomed, Sirimavo hosted a peace talk in Colombo, urging restraint and dialogue. Her quiet diplomacy helped prevent escalation and positioned Sri Lanka as a bridge of peace in South Asia. But leadership carried its burdens. Economic hardships, droughts, and political unrest tested her resolve. Critics accused her socialist reforms of stifling growth, while others faulted her for rising ethnic divisions. Yet, through the loss and criticism, she remained unbroken and elected 3 times as a Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, each term marked by both achievement and adversity. Her resilience became her signature. In foreign capitals, she was received with respect. In Beijing, in London, and in New York, she spoke for the developing world with quiet and authority. To Western diplomats, she was Madam Prime Minister, but to her people, she was Amma, a mother. Sirimavo Bandaranaike retired in 2000 and passed away the same year. Only months after voting in her country's general election, her daughter Chandrika Kumaratunga carried forward her legacy, becoming Sri Lanka's first women president. Together, mother and daughter carved a lineage of female leadership unmatched in South Asia. Sirimavo's story is not only about power, but about possibility. She proved that leadership has no gender, that wisdom, empathy, and courage can rewrite history. For every woman who steps into diplomacy, parliament, or the protest street today, there echoes the first footstep of a woman from Ceylon who dared to lead when no one believed she could. Her life reminds us that the measures of a leadership is not being the first, but ensuring you are never the last.